Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the midday call. I am Laz, and I'm coming at you today. A little bit of a mixed session. Couple of haves, couple of have-nots. Let's get into it here real quick. As there's now 1:30, a few hours left on the day. Let's talk about what's happened and what we can expect going forward, as we always do. S&Ps. I'm going to move over here to my charts. S&Ps. Same as before. Again, it's helpful with a lot of these updates to go back and listen to prior updates, even the morning call, just kind of refreshing the same information as we watch these, markets move on a day-to-day basis. Really not much to say here. We did see a slight pullback in price early this morning in the futures, but rebounding off the intraday lows here. But again, no momentum on this trade. This is a slow, grinding type of trade. Now, like I said last week, I do expect or anticipate that this will continue higher. This is even a pullback here, very subtle, but a pullback here as we do have a lower high in place. Should we, tomorrow, should we get through today's high, you could see a little more momentum to the upside. I do anticipate a move up to 144, 145 in the SPYs. As the longer it holds this rising 8, the more likely it is to break away to the upside. So we are still waiting on that breakaway trade. The stock du jour today, really Apple. What can we say that we haven't already said? The key level was 620. We got through 620 just about 5 days ago, and you can see how it's held the 8. Again, watch how stock holds its 8 EMA. Eventually it will break away. So we're seeing that breakaway trade here in Apple, as Apple has been a market leader for some time. And once we got through that 620 breakout, we saw a quick, again, a quick pullback here. Kind of looks a little like the S&Ps, again, tailing down, just a very minor pullback, and then seeing a nice 3-day move. At this point, this stock is extended on the daily. Now, extended or overbought or whatever terminology you want to use doesn't necessarily mean that the stock will turn and go down. What it means is that the stock could use a little bit of rest. The averages catch up. But this is Apple, and there's a lot of enthusiasm. There's a lot of institutional money and a lot of eyeballs here. So we could see even potentially again tomorrow another leg higher. So be on alert here. But as we approach this upper boundary, and again, we'll throw on one more study. We'll look at our Bollingers right here. Okay. Now trading outside of its band, which usually is a sign of a short-term top. And going back in time, you can see that when the stock trades out of these bands, generally it means that it's a little extended on the direction and there could be a pullback in the cards. But again, we're very early here, and more time we'll do this good. If we look at this on a smaller time frame, this is a 5-minute chart or even a 10-minute chart. You'll see that really rallied straight up to 665. That was today's high. Then we got that pullback. And now just sort of hovering in this 662 area. The bias here still remains long. The forces are still being bought on any pullback. So keep that trade on the radar. And I suspect we could languish into the close and then possibly gap up once again tomorrow. So we'll see. Again, I'm not much into guessing, but that seems to me like what this stock looks like it wants to do at this level. But like I say, I strongly caution chasing the longs. You can't make money chasing price. You're not going to make money buying Apple at these levels unless you're just taking it for a quick trade, for crumbs, a couple of bucks here, a couple of bucks there. The money's been made long. It's had a nice move. Give it time to rest. Give it time to consolidate. Even to pull back would still be healthy for a stock like this. You don't want to chase these prices, because when you chase price, all you do is elevate your risk. So bear in mind, keep an eye on how this plays out over the next couple of sessions. A couple other noteworthies here. Banks, and I know Scott covered those in the morning call. Holding the 8 here, this is Goldman Sachs, trying to break out, trying to get some legs here. We need to get through this prior pivot, 105.60, 105.65. But banks look to me, as of right now, here's our 13-minute. We'll go to the intraday. So long as we stay above this 104.50 intraday, this to me looks like it has the potential to continue higher. So keep the banks, Goldman, JP Morgan, Citi, some of the banks on your radar, as those are the ones that are showing some good consolidation patterns, good daily charts, starting to improve. But banks have notoriously been very, very slippery. We've seen a lot of breakouts fail. So I like the banks at these levels. I am long some Goldman Sachs for disclosure purposes, and I do think they could, we could see a 2 to 3 day move there. But again, it's all about risk, and at this point, here's Citi, here's Goldman. I like these trades. They're starting to become better looking longs with a little more conviction. Just not seeing it intraday, as the S&Ps really aren't giving us much to work with. A couple others, Baidu, just an interesting one. We talked about this last week. Breaking out of this base through 132, hitting that 135 and coming back in. So all bets could be off here, as this stock has given us a 618 retracement. You can look at your daily here. I'll take the Bollinger Bands off just for clarity. So let's look at our pivot highs and our pivot lows, and I talked about this on the VTF earlier. Fib retracement, again, swing highs, swing lows, hit its 618 retracement level. That was Friday, and today hasn't done nothing but go lower. Now I don't suspect that this one follows through today, but keep an eye on that 618 level in Baidu, as that it's probably going to wind up being fairly significant. Sign of the other Chinese internet gapping up on earnings, 2 days ago, and back to the lower end of this little micro range, this 3 day. So, what Chinese internets do from here can sort of tough spot to initiate on the long side. So keep an eye on those levels. And lastly, Facebook. Facebook's still in a very confirmed downtrend. There really hasn't been a whole lot of buying here. Every small pocket of buying we've seen here, whether it's a 1, 2, or 3 day type move, has been sold for new lows. Big volume the last couple of days. Facebook seeing a little bit of an intraday reversal here. Kind of hovered here down around these lows, which were about 1875. Those lows held. You can see how we made a low this morning. It was retested. It held. And that ignited a little bit of, some short covering and some, probably some bottom pickers, as it took us back to around the $20 mark. But the daily chart here is still firmly in control. You can see these downtrending averages. And I wouldn't be buying Facebook or at least chasing any short-term strength at this point. If this is going to become a long or a better long, it will set up on this time frame and give us a better pattern from which to work with. So at this point, it's really just a couple places I think people are making some money. On the intraday side, like I said, it is, it's the Apple show. The Apple show continues. We have some banks very much on the forefront of our attention for some longs. And that's really, as far as what's happening right now, those are probably the best areas that I see. Again, there's lots of different areas to make money. There's lots of different trades out there. But for now, keep it simple. As we go into Labor Day, we expect volume and liquidity to dry up a little bit. I know some traders are going on vacation. I personally will be out all next week on vacation going into Labor Day. So, quick day trades as they come. Stay with the Apple for those that are, intraday looking for that momentum. That's really the best pocket I see right now. And outside of that, stay nimble, stay light. Plan trader's a profitable trader. A couple good trades on the board today. So depending on where you are, and your style, whether it's mean reversion, looking for some pullbacks, and I can show you one. I'll go back to the chart. We talked about in the active trader room this morning in our game plan session was Estee Lauder, EL. Very calculated mean reversion trade through Friday's lows on the daily. First target's going to be the 8. So make sure your game plan, and the point of me showing you that is make sure your game plan is sound, it's intact. Whether you're going to be looking for longs, shorts, mean reversion, whatever your style is. Make sure your game plan is tight and you have a good functional watch list. As always, a plan trader is a profitable trader. I'm Laz, and I will talk to you later. Have a great day, everybody.